So my name's Elizabeth Diaz. My major is in psychology. I am in my senior year. I'm actually in my last semester, so I'm due to graduate in the spring of 2024. So my research project was studying working memory capacity and the effects that emotional words or emotional content and the background color would have on your working memory capacity. It changes everything. So from the color of a classroom to the color of your bedroom to the color of your clothes, it affects not only your mood, but it affects your ability to remember certain things. So what we did is we did red versus white. So red usually elicits a certain type of emotion, whether it could be positive or negative. It could be love, Valentine's Day. Today I would probably associate red with love more than I would with anger. Maybe I'm having a bad day, I would associate red with anger, things like that. And studies have shown, even for like McDonald's and Wendy's, they include red in their advertising because it makes you hungry. Yeah, and so you associate that with certain events and experiences, and that would help you retain memories of certain things. At least studies have shown, but studies have also shown that the opposite happens as well. Initially, I didn't even like the idea of conducting research. It was intimidating, it was scary, but it was actually some of the experiences I had in some of the classes I had in my junior year that kind of inspired me, as well as, I had this thirst for knowledge, and I realized that you aren't going to receive any type of knowledge unless you're conducting research, and I'm a very analytical and questioning person, and I hadn't associated the two. And my mentor, again, had a lot to do with that and kind of encouraging my curiosity. So my research mentor is Erin Barrett. She taught at Long Beach City College, and I took, it was her human sexuality class. I just love the way she taught. I love the way she delivered the information. It helped me retain it a lot better. So when I learned that she was teaching here at Dominguez Hills, I did take her Design Your Life course. And I just fell in love with everything that she did and the way everything was put together, and we built a pretty personal relationship, and she's helped me through some really, really tough times in my life on a personal level and helped keep my head on straight while at my time at university. I'm a mom, right? And so in that experience, I was wondering how I can deliver certain things to my son. And being a psychology major, it taught me how the brain works. And taking like child psychology classes, I started to learn exactly like how the brain functions, how we retain information, and even things such as like emotional intelligence, in every facet. You can be a parent, and so I learned about the area of positive psychology and what it entails, and Dr. Martin Seligman's doing a lot of amazing work right now when it comes to that area, and he's trying to implement certain models like, for children, for people with PTSD, so that way we're not just like getting individuals that are, I would say it is in the negative, right, that are experiencing certain traumas and mental health issues, beyond baseline, right? Like, let's not just get you to baseline, let's get you to have a really fulfilling life, and how can I teach these things to my kid, right? And so I think that's been a very motivating factor, because if I can do this with my own child, like imagine what I can do in the influence and impact I can on other parents that have the same questions that I do. I didn't realize there was an interconnection between research and the world around me. It wasn't until I was in college that like my eyes were open to the impact that any type of research, whether it be in the field of psychology, in biology, in medical areas, like I didn't realize like how much influence it had, and being able to understand something to make better changes for it. It's amazing. Some of the biggest changes that we've had, whether it be racial, cultural, systemic, like they've all come from research, and someone having a curious mind and asking a question on how can I make this better, not only for myself, but the people that also experience these adversities. It opens up a whole new world. I think that initially I didn't really have an open mind. I think I didn't really know a lot about the world and the community around me. I hadn't experienced a lot of life. I come from a lower socioeconomic class. I'm a woman of color, so I had a lot of odds stacked against me. But in diving into research, like I learned a lot about who I was as a person and how all those little changes that I make can influence the people around me and motivate the people around me, and the domino effect that it has on the community around me and for future generations. Like every change starts with a question. And so I like wholeheartedly believe in that. So I think that if you have a question, just kind of look into it. The worst that can happen is that it doesn't go anywhere, or the worst that can happen is that it changes somebody's life. I think there were moments where I struggled with imposter syndrome. I definitely, throughout my collegiate experience, because, I am an older college student, I am in my 30s, and, I'm returning back to school after being a single mom. And so I thought that, I wasn't necessarily capable of attaining some of the other things that maybe another student had that didn't face those kind of adversities. And what she did is not only she solidified the fact that I am worthy and I am deserving of a better opportunity, but she made sure that she was always checking in with me and always supported me, and even on a personal level besides academic, that I was supported in every way possible, emotionally, mentally as well. So I think one of the biggest ways that my faculty mentor has supported me throughout my research is that she always made sure that she was available for me. So the way I think that my research experience has impacted my overall academic experience is that it kept my thirst for knowledge alive, right? And being involved in research and interacting with people around me that were also conducting research, it helped me feel a part of the community, right? It helped me feel like I was making an impact and that I had a purpose. And I think that's one of the biggest things that keeps me motivated, is knowing that I have a purpose. I think one of the biggest pieces of advice that I have for students that are interested in doing research is talk to a professor. If you have an area that you're interested in, start conversations with your professors, visit the Office of Undergraduate Research. Even if you have no idea what research is or what you want to do, ask questions, get involved, and you can learn along the way. I don't know, I think one of the biggest pieces that I've taken away through doing research and being in academics is that I've learned to really believe in myself as a person, right? It's changed who I am as a woman and how I present myself to the world. And it's helped me, kind of come into my own skin. And I don't really battle with that imposter syndrome as much as I did. And I think one of the biggest things is that I asked for help. And no matter what area of my life, that I was struggling with, I just reached out a hand. And it's made such a big difference in keeping me in college instead of dropping out. So I think that's probably one of the biggest things.